How's it going, everyone? If you're confused by the ending of Solo, a Star Wars story, then sit back, because we're going to be taking an in-depth look at what happened and filling in the blanks for what's to come in the future and where the film might leave our characters going forward. Spoiler warning here, obviously. If you haven't seen the film, go check it out and come back to watch our video breaking down the ending. So Solo, a Star Wars story, revolves around Han Solo meeting up with a crew of smugglers and pulling off a heist to steal coaxium fuel cells for a ruthless gangster named Dryden Voss, played by Paul Bettany. When the crew finally pulls off the daring heist, they come back to Voss's secret hideout on a yacht, only to be surprised by Voss announcing to the team that the coaxium is fake because his inside source told him that Han's plan was to sell the real shipment to the Cloud Riders led by Enfys Nest, who we see throughout the film. The reason he believes this is because Enfys Nest and the Cloud Riders are actually secretly working for the rebellion, and the fuel cells would help them out in their fight against the Empire, and Voss's inside source was actually Beckett the entire time. But with this revelation, Han actually anticipated everything and knew Beckett's deception, telling Voss that the coaxium they brought to him is actually real. This is where things get dicey. Beckett runs off with Chewbacca as a hostage and escapes with the coaxium cells, while a fight ensues between Han, Qi'ra, and Voss and his guards, which results in Voss and everyone else getting taken out. At this point, Han goes after Beckett and Chewbacca to go rescue his companion, while Qi'ra says that she'll meet up with him later. When she leaves, she actually meets up with her real boss, which we will talk about in a future video. Needless to say, it's a pretty big cameo setting up for future installments. When Han catches up with Beckett and they get into a standoff, Han shoots first, cementing his position as the cynical smuggler that we know in A New Hope. After Han gives the coaxium cells to Enfys Nest, she reveals that she is part of the rebellion and they're going up against the Empire. Han declines her offer to join them, and she drops that maybe one day he'll be more sympathetic to the rebels' cause, obviously hinting at events to come when he meets up with Luke Skywalker and Obi-Wan Kenobi on their mission against the Empire. The film ends with Han and Chewie playing against Lando in a game of sabacc for possession of the Falcon, which is something that was teased early on in the film, but the reason that Han didn't win is because Lando had a cheat, and Han actually relieves him of that cheat, and that's why he's able to win the Falcon. We then cut to a scene in which Han tells Chewie that they're heading to Tatooine because Beckett told him earlier on a big-time gangster was putting together a new criminal organization. That's when the Falcon jumps off into hyperspace. So what's going on here? Essentially, Han and Chewie are heading to Tatooine to meet up with famous crime lord Jabba the Hutt. In previous films that we've seen, obviously, he was in A New Hope, and at that point in A New Hope, he was indebted to Jabba, which led him to the circumstances that we saw in Return of the Jedi. So perhaps they are setting up sequels or the Jabba the Hutt movie that has been long rumored, which will feature different bounty hunters and Han, and maybe we'll actually see the reason that he gets into a predicament with Jabba the Hutt and the other characters obviously in the movies. One thing that was interesting is that we actually didn't get any hint of Boba Fett meeting up with Han in the movie universe, as it was referenced that the two of them have history by the events of Jedi and Empire Strikes Back. So drop your thoughts down in the comments below. What do you guys think about this? Do you think that they are setting up either more Solo sequels or a potential Jabba the Hutt movie that will heavily feature Alden Ehrenreich as Han Solo alongside Chewbacca? We also don't know really what happens to Qi'ra other than she's heading off to Dathomir to meet up with her real boss, which was revealed to be Darth Maul. So it definitely seems like a lot of pieces are in play for future installments or perhaps just other movies, as they are taking a page out of the MCU, dropping very small hints to leading to other installments and other parts of the franchise. Would you like to see more Solo sequels or perhaps other films that include Alden Ehrenreich's young Han Solo, as we do know that he has a 3-picture deal? And for the latest updates on everything in the Star Wars universe, be sure to subscribe to Hybrid Network. Thank you guys again for checking this video out. If you want to get even more updates from us, check out our social media platforms, our website for news and editorials, and if you want to see our content improve and help us out, donate to us on our Patreon and you can get exclusive rewards.